Hi guys, welcome back to Lennox Bennett channel. If you're on YouTube, make sure you say subscribe. If you're on TikTok, ensure that you follow. Instagram, link it, same name, Lennox Bennett. Alright, so we're going to look at some functions, and we have f of x is equal to minus 2x plus 1, and they ask us to plug negative 1 in the function. So what it is, wherever we see negative 1, we put the value of x. Simple as that. So it will be negative 1 squared minus 2 times x, right? But what is the value of x? This is the value of x. So anywhere we see x, we replace it with negative 1. And of course, then we compute. So let's go. So negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Remember, once a number is squared, it must be positive, the product. Negative 2 times negative 1 gives us positive 2, and then we have plus 1. So 1 plus 2, that's 3, plus 1, 4. So this normally comes in the multiple choice or on paper 2 as well. Let's move on. Alright, so this one says negative 2x plus 3, and we're asked to find g2. It's the same process basically. All we're doing is wherever we see x, we replace it with 2. So we have minus 2, replace the value of x with 2. So there we go. Simple as that, guys. Those who want to join my marathon, there is my number. Alright. So now we have negative 2 times positive 2, that's negative 4, plus 3, which works out to negative 1. Let's look at a composite function. Alright guys, so let's combine these two functions. So we are given f of x is equal to 3x plus 2 divided by 5, while g of x is equal to 6x minus 1. Hope you guys are attempting the question first, right? So we're going to combine the two functions. So according to the rule, the last function, we write back the last function first. So f, we're going to write back all of f, which is 3x plus 2 over 5. Put that in bracket. Why? This becomes our x in g. So we're going to write back g of x. Now g of x is 6x minus 1. So what we do, this is our x already. So we could just put the little x here. So this is 6x minus 1. And of course, we expand the bracket. So we just multiply the numerator. So 6 times 3, that's 18. 6 times 2, 12. And you minus your 1, all over 5. Long story short, 18x, 12 minus 1 is equal to 11 over 5. So that's how we combine g of x. Let us do fg. Pause the video and try it first. So we're going to do fg. Let's go. Alright, how many persons got it? Put something in the comment section now. Alright, let's go. So we're going to combine fg. So g is the last function this time. So we're going to write back all of g, which is 6x minus 1. Put that in bracket. This becomes our x in f. So we're going to write back f now. Now f says 3x plus 2. So we already have x. So 3x plus 2 all divided by 5. And again, we expand our bracket by multiplying. So 3 times 6, 18x. 3 times negative 1, negative 3 plus 2 over 1. 5. So 18x, negative 3, the 3 is bigger, so that becomes negative 1 all over 5. So that is g of x. Let's look at another aspect when we are asked to plug in a value, like for example, gf2. Alright, let's go. So we have g of x is equal to 3x plus 2, h of x is equal to 7x minus 9. What if they ask us to find hg negative 2? As I said, guys, we just simply combine the functions first. So g would be the last function, so it's 3x plus 2. We put that in bracket because that's our x in f. In h, rather. So h says 7x. So this is our x, 7x minus 9. Tell me, say you guys understand. Leave that in the comment section if you fully get it. 7 3s, 21. 7 times 2, 14. Remember, the 9 is not in the bracket, right? So now all we do is say 21x and 14 take away 9, which gives us positive 5. Why positive? The 14 is bigger than the 9. Alright, so we are not finished. We need to put negative 2 wherever x is. So we just put back 21, put back negative 2 because that's the value of x, and then plus 5. Negative 2 times 21, that's negative 42, and of course we plus 5. Let's work out this now. What did you guys get? So this should give us negative 37. Why negative 37? The 42 is bigger and the signs are different, so we subtract, keep the sign of the bigger term. So that goes to 37. Alright guys. Alright guys, let's move on to the inverse. Now the f of x is equal to 6x minus 8, and they're asking us to find the inverse of f. So first we change the function to y. So y is equal to 6x minus 8. Next we interchange x for y and y for x. So wherever x is, we put y. Wherever y is, we put x. And then we solve for y. So we're going to make y the subject of the formula. So what we need to do is to take the inverse of the minus 8 and the inverse of multiplication. But you have to do it in a particular order. The last one, that's the one you have to do first. So we have minus 8. The inverse would be to plus 8. And remember, anything you do to one side, you're supposed to do to the next side. So because we added 8 here, we're supposed to add 8 here as well. Alright, and then this would give us 6y, because this 8 cancels 8, that's 0. So what's the inverse of multiplication by 6? And that would be to divide by 6. But remember, what we do to one side, we're supposed to do to the next side. So because we divided by 6 here, we have to do the same here. So the inverse of f is equal to x plus 8 over 6. Remember guys, if you want to join the marathon, there's my number, 5492161. Let's look at another inverse. Alright guys, so we have h of x is equal to 5x plus 2 over 3, and we're asked to find the inverse of h. So to do that, we do the same procedure, which is change the function to y. It doesn't make a difference. Y is equal to 5x plus 2 over 3. Interchange x for y and y for x. So we have x is equal to 5y plus 2 over 3. So now we need to solve for y. So the first thing that we do is the last thing. So 5y plus 2 divided by 3. We say divide by 3 last, so we multiply by 3 first. Anything you do to one side, you're supposed to do to the next side. So now we have 3x is equal to 5y plus 2. So the next thing that we need to approach is the plus 2 by taking the inverse or the opposite, which is to minus 2. But remember, anything you do to one side, you're supposed to do to the next side. So because we subtracted 2 from that side, we're supposed to subtract 2 from this side, is to balance the equation. So now we're left with that equal to 5y. So what's the inverse or what's the opposite of multiplying by 5? And that would be to divide by 5. So there we have it. The inverse of h is equal to 3x minus 2 over 5. Let's look at the most complex one. Let's go. Alright guys, let's look at this one. It says g of x is equal to 6x minus 7 divided by 8x plus 3, and we are finding the inverse of g. I call this one the bulldog, the big one. But it's very simple nevertheless. Let's go. So what we do, we change the function to y. So y is equal to 6x minus 7 over 8x plus 3. So that's the first step. Interchange x for y and y for x. So this gives us 6y minus 7 over 8x plus 3. Now we need to solve for y now. So if you notice, y is in the numerator, y is in the denominator. We can get rid of that very easy. But first, let us multiply by all of this. Right? So we need to get rid of the denominator. So what we do, we multiply by 8y plus 3. It's the entire thing. And remember, whatever you do to one side, you do to the next side. So this gives us 8y plus 3 is equal to 6y minus 7. So that's where we are now. So what we need to do, I'm going to do it up here. So we need to expand the bracket to get rid of the bracket. So x times that would give us 8xy. X times 3 would give us positive 3x. And that is equal to 6y minus 7. Alright. So we need to get all the y terms together, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to bring this 6y with the 8xy. So let me just do that. So we have 8xy. But remember, we must take the inverse. So I'm going to minus 6y from that side. Anything you do to one side, you do to the next side. And over here, we're left with what? Negative 7. Alright. So the next thing we want to do is to get rid of this plus 3x from this side, because I want to have y on this side only. So we're going to get rid of this positive 3x by doing the opposite, subtracting 3x from this side. So we are left with this now. 8xy minus 6y is equal to negative 7 minus 3x. Alright, so now you can see we have y terms. However, y is not alone. So what we need to do is to factor out the y. Y is common to this, y is common to that. So we factor out y, and we just say y into 8xy, that would leave 8x. Y into that leave minus 6. And this equals negative 7 minus 3x. So we have one more step to do. All of these being multiplied by y, so we need to take the inverse of all of this, which is to divide by 8x minus 6. What you do to one side, you do to the next side. So g inverse of x is equal to minus 7 minus 3x over 8x minus 6. If you want to join my math marathon, guys, 549-2161. Let's go. Let's show you our next aspect of it. Alright, so we have g of x is equal to 6x plus 7, h of x is equal to 5x minus 3, and hg inverse of x. So all we have to do, guys, it's not hard. All we have to do is find the composite. So we can find g, which is 6x plus 7. Next, we write back h. That's what we did in the first part of the video. So we have 5x minus 3. So we just combine it first and then we find the inverse. 5 times 6, 30x. 5 times that, 5, 7, 35 minus 3. That gives us 30x plus 32 because we subtract. So all we need to do is just find the inverse of this. So we change the function to y and we just interchange x for y and x for y like we normally do. So basically, we're going to make y the subject. So we subtract 32 from this side. So it would be x minus 32 equal 30y. And then the final step is to get rid of the 30. So we divide by 30. So there you have it. That's the inverse of hg of x. Alright guys, I'm Linux spending tomorrow, no doubt. I'll see you guys in another video. Take care everyone. Make sure you subscribe for more video. Alright, I'm out.